everybody, my name is Dina, and welcome to Unit 17, Lesson 2, Sound Effects. Sound effects are generally used for when you need to show a sound and the original recording didn't have it. It can also be used for comedic or storytelling purposes. There are far too many uses for sound effects, so we'll just be going over the basics of what they can be used for and how to use them. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Sound effects can be used to replace sounds that are supposed to be in a video, but need to be clearer. This is where Foley comes in. Foley, in simple terms, are fabricated sounds that are created in post-production, using materials that can produce similar sounds to what you need. Foley artists can use everyday objects to produce sounds like footsteps, clothes rustling, objects interacting with each other, rain, water sounds, punches in a fight, basically anything you can imagine. They usually have a dedicated closet or even room for props that they use to create certain sounds. This technique is named after its creator, Jack Foley. Now that we have the basics of what Foley is and what sound effects can be used for, let's move on to how we can apply that to our own project. One of the most obvious examples that we have done for our marketing promo video was adding a laughing sound effect for our actor. As you may or may not remember from the very beginning when I did a director's commentary with my co-director, we spoke about how we used a stock laughter sound effect to replace the actual sound of our actor because it didn't sound right. However, like we also mentioned during the intro video, we could have just recorded our actor's natural laughter with the microphones in the studio and created our own organic Foley, instead of using stock audio clips. This is a way to make sound effects sound more realistic and organic, so to speak. There are many ways of using sound effects in your videos. The only real limit is your imagination. One of the main uses is to add a sound effect that doesn't exist in the world. An example of this is right here in our marketing promo video. In the very beginning, at 7 seconds in, we can hear that there is the sound effect of a person's smartphone receiving messages. This is because when making the scene, we had to create the whole chat conversation from scratch, so there was no recording whatsoever. In this case, any and all sounds that may appear are completely added in post-production. You can also use sound effects to cover other sounds that you don't want cut or emphasize something that appears on screen. Or even, this may be familiar to you already, to censor swear words from videos, especially ones meant for the public or younger audiences. The most common sound is, of course, the famous bleep sound effect. However, any sound works as long as you cover it up. Sound effects can also be used in transitions, intros, and outros. For example, here in our marketing promo, we used a simple sound effect along with a special clip of stars sweeping across the screen to transition from our outro back to our messenger chat scene. To add sound effects is as easy as creating a new track and lining up your effects at the right timing. If it's to add sound to silence, like our messaging conversation, that's all you need to do. If you're trying to cover up a mistake or censor a word, you will have to adjust the volume. You could either make the sound effect louder or mute the part you are trying to cover up, or do both. These can be achieved with all the tools we mentioned in the last lesson, such as the gain slider, track levels, or with the volume envelope. Next up, we're going to be moving to sound special effects. This can be accessed just like the video special effect by using the button labeled FX, or by right-clicking on the clip you want to apply the effect to and selecting Audio Event FX. Like video special effects, this will open up a large library of special sound effects that you can use. Unfortunately, unlike video effects, there is no way to preview audio effects. So, when the FX button is clicked, it will display a selection of folders under the mother folder Audio. Here, you will find folders that Vegas has automatically sorted for you. Just like before, Vegas has different categories for their audio effects. These are the categories that Vegas sorts their audio effects in. All, of course, gives you the whole library of audio effects in alphabetical order. Next up is the Vegas category, which is the folder in which Vegas's default audio effects are kept. These are the ones that come pre-installed. Next up, we have the third-party folder, for third-party plugins and effects that didn't originally come with Vegas. Next up are the folders that sort the effects by their type or usage. Here, we have the Automatable folder, which contains the automatic effects. These effects will take place without having to tweak settings, meaning they will become active once you place the effects onto the clip. Next, we have the Track Optimized effects. These series of effects work mostly when applied to tracks. Like the name says, the effects in this folder work better if it's applied to whole tracks at a time. The following folders, like VST, which stands for Virtual Studio Technology, are ones that won't be used as much for us because they are so specialized and professional. One more detail that is cool is directional audio. When you add a certain sound effect or a line of dialogue that is on one side of the screen, whether it's the right or the left side, you can adjust the sound to come from either side. This is useful and only noticeable when you have headphones or a surround sound system. Most people who watch movies in theaters really won't notice it unless it is explicitly brought to their attention. But lots of higher budget TV shows or films will always take directional audio into account and adjust them accordingly. This is achieved through another audio envelope. Like mentioned before, since most of the time we are on the selection tool, all we have to do is click on D to cycle toolbar buttons, and it will bring you to the envelope edit tool again. Then, you can right-click on your desired audio clip and insert your envelope. Here, we will be using the Pan envelope. Pan allows you to choose or even animate the direction in which your audio is moving. You could use the slider buttons on your audio track for this, but if you want your audio to move to the right or left during a clip and without affecting your whole track, you can animate it by enabling this envelope. You'll notice that once the envelope is enabled, there will be a red line running right through the middle of your audio clip. This central position means that it is playing on both the right and the left equally. Moving this slider down will cause your audio direction to move to the right, and upwards will cause it to move to the left. Animating envelopes, just like before, can be done by double-clicking on the points when you want the direction to change. This will create your keyframes. Now, all that's left to do is to drag your keyframes up or down to the direction that you want. Multiple keyframes can be added, so if you really want to disorient your audience, You can make the audio go left and right repeatedly. It wouldn't be very nice, though. Anyway, next up, we'll be talking about voiceovers, an extremely convenient and important tool in making any video. Stay tuned to learn more about how audio can be used creatively. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye!